All right, time to talk about the Channels International Kids Cup.
Right.
Keep talking about it because, you know, season 10 was awesome. One of the best we've had in the past week.
Absolutely. We saw one of the best teams this competition has seen so far. LGA Central. I mean, they were impressive from the get-go, from game one in the group stage until the final. And the final was supposed to be very competitive because those two sides had met in the group stage where it ended 2-2. But in the final, they raised the game, they upped the ante, and the guys from Baptist Primary School couldn't deal with them on the day. As a result, they returned back to Kwara State as champions of season 10 of the Channels National Kids Cup, and they were hosted by the governor himself, Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed.
I mean, he made a donation of 2 million naira to the representatives of that state. And not only that, I mean, what he said to them sometimes is not just about the money. It's about the opportunity to actually shake the hands of your governor, and also all the kind of advice that comes from it and everything, representing the state very well and making sure that they came and they conquered. Well, let's get reaction from that now.
As the governor of Kwara State, I'm very proud of you. The state is very proud of you because you have shown that at your age, you are very good ambassadors of Kwara. You did not only go there to win the trophy, but you did it in a very disciplined manner. You demonstrated that Kwara State truly has the name it is known for, the home of harmony. As we know that we will not leave these kids without ensuring that they develop their skills for greater challenges and better successes in life. As it is today, we're all aware that footballing has gone beyond just entertainment. It is also a means of wealth creation. Apart from also being a means of physical well-being. So we'll give all the support we can to ensure that these kids that have done us proud have access to improve on their footballing skills, improve on their academics, and indeed, they would expect that they become not only successful as footballers, but also successful as future leaders of Nigeria. For us in the state, we are very, very encouraged by this success, and we want to use this opportunity to introduce footballing competition at the primary school level that will broaden the scope, that will enable talent to be isolated before even the competitions come to be, so that we are already prepared before they tell us to prepare.
That's a good one. I mean, the way they prepared, I know that the captain of the team in an interview actually said that they train 3 times a day for 3 months to prepare for this tournament. Now I understand why there was so much cohesion, understanding between the two, between the players.
You're spot on. Yeah, you're spot on. I mean,
3 months. You know
that's why.
I understand.
Now you understand where the teamwork, has come from. You see the way they play, and you see the goals they score. You see that a lot of work has gone down on the training ground. And that's why they're deserved champions of season 10 of the Channels International Kids Cup. A lot of money, 2 million previously.
Yeah.
Right, another 2 million naira. That's a lot.
I said, football is all about money and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it does a whole lot. You just want to go in and out. And I hope and pray that these kids finish their education and also
That's very,
get to be great
very
footballers.
important, very important. And any one of them that wants to go further and be professional footballers, hopefully there'll be proper structures in place by then to enable them, you know, actually go on to realize and actualize their dream. So,
Tanko Yakub Zakwan, that's talking about the captain. He says he wants to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, that's his role model. So we hope we have so many academies in Kwara. So I'm sure that they will just, you know, listen to him and ensure that he achieves his dream.
Exactly. And you heard the governor there emphasizing and reiterating that football is not just recreation anymore. Big business. He knows it. So I want to believe he is going to do something about that.
About it alone.
Yeah, exactly. And his speech sounds very familiar as well, too, because was it last season?
Yeah, last season. I think they finished second.
Representative finished second. Now they've gone a step further.
And to win it.
And the governor knows.
I think it was the motivation. These kids might have said, okay, I mean, you can actually go ahead and win. If these guys, they didn't win,
and they still met the governor.
They met the governor, then we can actually go a step further. And this is it.
That's what they did.
And say, okay, they're not the only ones.
Not
also,
the only ones.
Kids from Borno, you know, from the IDP camp and all that were also honored. But we know that the governor, from reports reaching us, that the governor also met with them on Friday. But these are pictures, you know, coming from the camp where, you know, the army actually,
received them,
received them and all that.
And theirs is a very, very
peculiar.
Yeah, I mean, very, very sweet situation, you'd say. I mean, you know what those kids have gone through in that side of the country. And for them to come to Lagos, participate very well in season 10 of the Channels International Kids Cup. Apparently, everyone that met them were very impressed with their character. And that's just very impressive, even though they didn't win. But
the Fair Play Awards went to them.
Deservedly. So, good one for Abogu Lajema School from Borno State, and we're hearing that there's going to be a proper welcome party for them, where the governor is expected to be a part of it. Hopefully that goes. I mean, that will go a long way,
of course,
in making these kids very, very happy.
Very, very happy. Ekiti, Oshun, all of them also planning reception for all these kids. Still on the Channels International Kids Cup. This time around is all about recognition at the Nigerian Pitch Awards in Port Harcourt on Monday night. We're recognized by, you know, the achievements. They've done 10 seasons. Imagine what it is. It's never, like, there's never been a dull moment since that time. I mean, from season 1 straight up to season 10 and all that. So, you know, when you're able to do this consistently, and not just consistently, in a professional manner, in the best way that you can. So we deserve all the accolades that are actually coming right now.
Yeah, that word again, accolades. I mean, it's only right. 10 editions, 10 seasons of the Channels International Kids Cup. It's only right. You get recognized for that as well. So that was the Pitch Awards that went down on Saturday. On Monday, I beg your pardon. On Monday.
Super Eagles game against the Congo in Port Harcourt.
Exactly. And as Austin Okonakpan receiving the award on behalf of Channels International Kids Cup, on behalf of Channels Television, for that particular award is the Achievement Award for football. Fantastic.
One for Channels and, of course, the other one for himself as football journalist of the year. So it was a double
celebrations for Channels on Monday. Fantastic.
Well, talking about reactions, I mean, Shina Felix, the man behind the whole Nigerian Pitch Awards, has been talking about this award, what it's been able to do to different individuals that have won it and how they intend to actually improve on it year in, year out. Let's hear from him now.
Consistency is what really matters, especially as we set out to do the right thing, you know, by always ensuring that this stays credible, stays transparent, stays prestigious. I'm sure that perhaps if we're lacking in certain areas, perhaps maybe bringing in the glamour and all of that, but you can have all the glamour, but if you don't have the core, you know, the foundation of any major award, which is credibility, you've lost it. This award has integrity, and we thank God for all our voters across the country, 100 of them, and even increasing. Just at the end of this evening zone, the names of all the voters will be displayed and how they voted. So you see the character of the Nigeria Pitch Awards, true to its name, true to character, true to credibility.
That's what it is. Character, credibility, and of course, consistency. And that's also what Channel's International Kids Cup has been doing all these past seasons. Okay, Tayo. So after this, where do we go from here? Still staying with grassroots development.
Yeah, we're still talking.
Right?
Yeah,
we're still development, talking. Or maybe just trying to.
It's all part of development as well. I mean, it's all part of development. This time around, it's all about the Restoration Cup.
Yeah,
it's in the final.
It's in the finals.
Wow.
The finals is going to be this Sunday, but then you've got the ones who got to the finals. I mean, it wasn't an easy road for these teams because they had to really battle. One went into penalty, sudden death before they finally got a winner. Now, it makes me to actually try and pronounce this name, talking about Peretorubene community. Peretorubene community, right?
That's not a bad attempt at all. Well done.
9-8 on penalties in the first semi-finals played at the Samson Siasia Sports Complex in Yenogwa. They were able to beat Toro Orua community in that one. And of course, that positive finals ended 1-1, so they had to go into penalties for that. They're in the finals, that's what is important. And the finals will be played this Sunday at this particular stadium. This stadium is really beautiful, right? The grass and everything and all that.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good from where we're saying it. Yeah. So that's the confirmation of the fixture again. And there's no point pronouncing those names again. Now, Cecilia has done it. So final of the Restoration Cup will go down on Sunday. Definitely on Monday, we'll bring you the winners of that competition. So you can always join us for that update. Let's move on now. Let's come back home and talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And Cecilia, they're all getting set for the World Cup. And we know what went down yesterday at Aston Villa, where President Muhammadu Buhari received the team. Not only received them, he actually gave them a target. And that target is generating a whole lot of reaction now, because the president has basically said Super Eagles should go to Russia and win the trophy. And I don't know, Cecilia, is that a lot of pressure? I mean, especially when it's coming from the #1 citizen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure. It is.
Yes.
It is.
Pressure? Yes, it is. It's a big one, because at the end of the day, you're like, how do you do it? Because it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, because we understand I mean, just take a look at the countries that
there are a lot of favorites.
I mean, there are a lot of favorites, from Germany to Spain to Argentina.
Cecilia, I know you can go on and on about this one, so kindly hold your thought. Let's just go ahead and see what went down at Aston Villa yesterday when President Muhammadu Buhari received the Super Eagles of Nigeria before they departed for England for that international friendly.
The Aso Rock Council chamber is taken over by Eagles, members of the national team that will fly the nation's flag in Russia. With only days before the global fiesta, the team and its handlers are visiting President Buhari. They want his support and blessings.
The players, which will present themselves now, are able to do it.
The president reminded them of the enormous responsibility on their young shoulders, but charged them to conquer.
You have the full support and the blessings of all Nigerians who will look up to you for as long as the tournament lasts. I commend the Nigerian Football Federation for drawing up the right program that is helping to refine the team. This is our time. We look up to you to make us proud.
The team captain gave assurance of good outing.
So all we have to do as players is to go out there and make this country proud.
The Minister of Sports and the President of the Nigeria Football Federation showered encomiums on the President for his support.
For the first time in the history of this country, we have a team nobody is talking about being owed a kobo, being owed this. It's because of the environment you created for us to thrive. Your Excellency, again, we say thank you. Your Excellency, this Super Eagles you have seen today is the most disciplined, is the most united in the historiographic literature of in the annals of football history. That I can tell you.
The present Super Eagles team is the youngest in the history of the national football team going to the World Cup. Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.